Good morning, Optavians. Welcome to Medifast Mondays. My name is Donna. I'm an independent Optavia coach, and I'm here to share with you some of my favorite fueling hacks and lean and green recipes. Today, what I'm going to make for you is a tofu taco mix. So what I'm going to do is use some tofu and some taco seasoning, and then just make it. It kind of ends up like the consistency of like ground beef with the taco meat, but it's not. It's just going to be tofu. If you're looking for the tofu on your list, you're going to find this on the meatless list. Your serving size for tofu, and this, you be sure you use extra firm tofu for this. The serving size on this is 15 ounces, so you get quite a lot. And remember, that's cooked, not pre-weight, because typically with tofu you want to squeeze all the water out of it. You want to drain it and then squeeze the water out of it. So what I'm going to do first is drain this. Again, you can use this on a salad. I would with the, I don't know if you've tried the chili or not, the Optavia chili or the Medifast chili, whichever. But I would add a little bit of this mix to the chili and a little bit of cheese and kind of, make it a little more exciting. But, it's up to you. You could use it in tacos. If you wanted to use the tortillas, if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up there. Also the taco mix. I'm going to use my own seasoning blend, so if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up there. I'm having a heck of a time getting this package open. Hang on, let me get a knife. So I'm going to drain this. Typically, I would squeeze all the water out of the tofu, but since I'm going to bake this, I'm not too concerned about that because it's going to absorb all the moisture anyway, or all the moisture is going to be absorbed when it bakes in the oven anyway. So I'm just going to dump the tofu into a bowl. I got a drainer in here so I can strain it. Again, I'm just using, I don't even know how to pronounce that, but it's just extra firm tofu. So whatever brand you have at your local store, get it. Just make sure you get the extra firm, not like silken or medium firm. Okay. So I'm going to drain this out. I'm actually using my oven today, not the air fryer. It's not hot enough. I mean, it's pretty cold outside, so it's not going to bother me to turn the oven on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take this tofu and I'm going to crumble it up, like make crumbles out of it, like the size of, like when you cook taco meat, it's just a small crumble. Just crumble, crumble, crumble. You get your hands in there. Make sure they're clean first, okay? This is still cold. Your oven setting, I'm doing 375. And I'm just going to spread it out on a pan, make it one layer, and kind of probably, stir it a couple times while it's cooking. So, again, this is good for salads or, whatever. If you have a favorite dish where you would normally use ground beef or ground turkey, try this. It might be good. So, anyway, let me rinse my hands off real quick. So, this is what it looks like. Like I said, just get it crumbled up to where it's, ground beef size. And then to that, I'm going to add a half a tablespoon of taco seasoning. And I've seen this done on different websites and stuff, and they always add oil to it, but I don't necessarily want to add any oil because I don't want to add the extra fat. It's not going to have an effect on the flavor of it. So all you got to do is just get your hands in there and get it all mixed up to where there's some seasoning on all of this. Of course, I made a mess. So anyway, I hope everyone survived the holidays without any problems. I know I did not come through it unscathed. Trust me, it was not, I don't know. It is what it is though. So today I'm just doing a hard restart of plan. And just going to, really focus on losing 10% of my body weight. That's my goal. That's the goal I set for myself. And, to keep active and get my movement up again, because there for a while, I'll tell you what, it was like months that I got on my bike. Today I got on my bike and rode for about an hour. And when I got off, my son says, "Are you sore?" I said, "Not today, but by tomorrow I will be," because I did not realize how I had gotten out of shape just by not riding for, for, I don't know, it was probably a month and a half since I've ridden. Anyway, I rambled. So I'm going to rinse my hands real quick, and then we're going to pop this in the oven. You could use a little bit more seasoning if you wanted to, or what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some like green chili sauce to it after it's baked. But we'll get to that in a second. Let me rinse my hands. So here's what it looks like. You can see it's all the seasoning is mixed in through that. Now the half a tablespoon of seasoning is actually what I would use for a double batch of, like when I make my turkey taco mix, I use that, and then it's split in two. So probably if I use this for a salad or something, I'm only going to use half the recipe of it. So I'm going to use 7.5 ounces instead of 15, because I'll also want to add some cheese to it, because it's not taco without cheese. So the cheese, which is also on the meatless list, if you haven't seen that on there. So what I would do is use like half of the tofu and then half cheese. And then this would only be 1.25 condiments instead of 2.50 condiments. And then I can have a little, taco sauce or something with it too. I feel like a ramble. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to spread this out on a pan just to where it gets in a single layer. And again, all the moisture is going to get absorbed. And then because you're going to stir it a couple times while it's cooking, it's going to, it'll come apart and get kind of crumbly. So, and again, typically you would, like squeeze all the moisture out of the tofu, but since we're baking it, I don't think it's necessary. It'll still turn out fine. Okay, so I am going to rinse my hands again. Clean up my mess. I got it slopped all over the place, of course. That never changes. Okay, so this is going to go in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. So probably what I'll do is I'll stir it about every 10 minutes, and I'll spare you guys like watching this for 30 minutes while it's cooking. So I will be back in about 30 minutes, and then we'll finish this up and take a look at it. Be back soon. Okay, we're about halfway through the cooking process. I just want to show you guys what this looks like so it's, that you know what it looks like as you're cooking it. I dropped a piece down there. So see how it's getting kind of brown and looking more like ground beef or I think it looks more like ground turkey than ground beef. But it's starting to get browned and different size pieces, and the moisture is coming out of it. So this has got about another 15 minutes to go. I think I'm going to cook it a little bit longer than 30 minutes. So anyway, that's what it looks like. That's what it's supposed to look like. So just in case there's any questions about that, I'll be back in a few minutes when it's done. Okie dokie. So I cooked that for about 35 minutes. It took that long for it to get all the moisture out. So it's pretty, looks like taco meat. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is, now that I've taken all the moisture out of it, I'm going to add some moisture back into it, but it's also going to be flavored moisture. So it's not just like, water. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just dump this into my pan. I'm hoping I'm not going to make a big mess here. Gotta hold my mouth right. So this cooks up. I mean, we started with that huge block of tofu, and now it's, hardly anything in the bottom of the pan there, it seems like. So again, I'm going to add this to where it's just this is going to make it just a little bit chewier and more like a meat consistency. At this point, you could add some extra vegetables in there. You could dice up some bell peppers and toss that in there, and that way it gives it a little more substance. If you wanted to, it's up to you. However you're going to use it. However you want to do it, it's fine. If you want to add some more bell pepper or some bell peppers or, whatever vegetable you like in there with it, that's fine. Okay, so I've got this going. So what I'm going to add to it is just a little bit of green salsa. I just used the salsa verde. I'm going to count this as a green though, because really all it is tomatillos and chilies. So I'm going to count it as a green rather than a condiment. You can count it however you want. If you'd rather count it as a condiment, that's fine. Just be sure you're counting it and remember the condiments that we already put in here. So however you want to do it, it's up to you. And if you do add some extra bell pepper, then be sure you count that against your green. So I'm going to count this as part of the green. So I'm going to start with just a 1/4 cup of it. And again, I just want to put some moisture back in it and just a little bit of flavor. So I'm just kind of, whoops, of course I spill it all over. I'm just going to kind of saute that around and get it actually, let me turn it down, it's kind of high. Ooh, I forgot to turn off my oven. Let me do that now. So, it smells really good. There we go. So now it's got a little moisture back into it, and it'll make it more like a meaty consistency. And then, let me turn that off, it'll just keep beeping. And now it's got a little green salsa in it, give it a little kick. And again, I would use this in, I'd make tacos with it, or add it to, you know, maybe a fueling that's not fabulous on its own. This might be good in the macaroni and cheese. I know people have an issue with the macaroni and cheese because it's not really all that fabulous, but I think if you add a little bit of this in it, maybe an ounce or so, and a little extra, you know, like cheese, a 1/2 ounce of cheese or so, it might make your macaroni and cheese pretty good. In fact, maybe I will, maybe I'll try that one of these days for you guys and see how it turns out, because it actually sounds kind of good. So there it is. Tofu taco, stuffing, meat. I guess you can't call it meat because it's not meat. How about meatless taco? Meatless tacos. I don't know. We'll just call it tofu taco crumbles. Anyway, so that's it. If you have any questions, comments, let me know if you try this and you like it, or if you didn't like it, or, you know, what you did to make it different than I did. You know, it's just an idea of another way to get your, you know, some protein in without eating meat. I'm not a vegetarian by any means, nor, you know, so, but, you know, I know a lot of people are out there, so, you know, maybe this will help you out a little bit with your meatless options, and we'll see. So anyway, give me a holler. You know, my information's down below. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. And those of you who have subscribed recently, I thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys very soon. Talk to you later. Bye.